So what we do is important, but how we do what we do becomes more and more important. And that's for every guy here. We got to do it better. Our goal is to have the kind of team that nobody wants to play. And that means that we have to impose our will to dominate the competition all the time. It's all about what does it take to break you.
You are satisfied? If you are not hungry, you need to check yourself.
And what papers you got to go get it and go out.
Right now is your chance. Right now is your opportunity. Right now, you got to make today count.
Roll Tide, brother.
Roll Tide, baby.
Bama Nation, it's us. Nick and I.
Yes, sir.
With the Nick and Roll Tide, or with the Nick and Rise Up college football show. Glad to have you guys here today with us this Thursday, whatever the day is. I don't even know the date, but anyway, we're here to talk some football with you guys, and we have a special guest with us tonight, a good friend of ours. He's been showing up here lately. One, Mr. Alabama Tide.
Hey, gentlemen, Roll Tide.
Roll Tide.
How you doing?
Glad to be here. Let's have some fun.
Hey,
Yes,
let's have
sir.
some fun. Alabama Nation, everybody in the chat, Roll Tide, William Bryan, Stephen Hicks, 6-0, and everybody else who I don't see. So we're gonna get this thing started off. Nick, we had a Ole Miss guy that was supposed to show up tonight, but he had some things he had to take care of, so we couldn't get him in. But we got Alabama Tide here, and we're gonna talk Alabama football tonight.
That's
Sir.
a better subject.
And if y'all was wondering, the reason why I put the two J's at the end of the football, because Alabama football is dynamite. No, I
You
messed
covered up
up.
real well, Nick. That's a good cover, brother. You done good.
No, I had messed up and I couldn't edit the thing out for no reason, so I got to go back and edit it later after we finish the show.
You done good. I couldn't done better myself.
My boy KB in the chat. What's going on? Kangaroo Black,
Mr. Black, what's going on, sir?
Stephen Hicks 6-0. What's up, fellas? William Bryant.
Oh man, Kangaroo had those doggone Georgia people in the chat last night.
Man, I had just stepped in from working out with my son yesterday, man, and I had started listening to it. Boy, hey man, y'all did a good show that night, man.
She's gonna say, of course, Ole Miss don't show up. Hey man, we'll get them next time. That's all right. That's quite all right.
After this year, Georgia won't show up.
I'm quite waiting on that myself. I ain't gonna lie to you. Anyway, Nick, since we talking Alabama tonight, man, let's talk about some topics you want to talk about, man. Our Alabama Crimson Tide, man.
Yes, sir. So my first thing I want to ask y'all, what do y'all think of the new commit, Jeremiah Beaman?
Alabama Tide, I'll let you go first, sir.
I'm having trouble hearing you. Hang on just a minute.
Well, I'll go while he's
Okay.
trying to get his audio correct over there. But
I apologize.
No, you good. Jeremiah, a young guy, I think y'all the Parker High School, the Birmingham
Yes,
area.
sir.
All right, I know he's a 4-star, but one thing about him, he's an in-state commit, so we got that in-state commit. I know Georgia was going after him. I think Auburn. I think if I heard Mississippi State and a couple other schools, so we got the in-state commit, man. I think the boy about 6'4", 260, 65 pounds in that area. I didn't know much about him before, and once we picked up the commit, I went and kind of looked at some stats and looked at some high school tape on him, and the boy fast off the ball, man. The boy is that boy is explosive. When that ball snaps, that boy is explosive, man.
Yes, sir.
You know, he's an edge guy. So,
yep.
And then we got this year, 2023, we got Keon Keeley coming in. He's the edge guy, and we got Yanze Pierre. He's the edge guy. So that's only building depth on that line, on that D line, and I'm excited, man. I'm hoping he stick to it, don't flip or whatever, and just come on in and add to the depth myself. Now, can you hear me, Mr. Alabama Tide?
Yeah, I got you. I was trying to pull up the chat screen so I can see the people in the chat. I can't get my chat to pop up, so I can't see anybody in the screen. Mm-hmm. Other than that, I'm good.
Okay, what do you think about the commit, though, the young guy that's committed to us, Jeremiah Beeman, if you've been following him?
Yeah, I was looking at that. He looked like he might be a little undersized right now. Of course, he's just a junior in high school, so he's got another full year to grow. His arms looked a little small, but, I mean, like I said, these are just young men trying to be teenagers, trying to be grown men and going through life change. And he is I thought he's a very good defensive lineman. We need all we can get. We've seen a little short on defensive linemen the past year for some reason, the past couple of years. And I think we got that situated out on the offensive defensive line. And I just between all us chickens here, I thought that was our primary problem was our offensive defensive line last year. Of course, with Powder Puff Pete and Bill O'Brien, you had them two in there, but our offensive defensive lines were not up to par like they normally was. Right. But I really like this Beeman, I think is how you say his name.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm. Yes, sir.
I really like the kid. He's got a lot of potential, and if he keeps, pushing like he should and working like he should, he's going to be a good one. We got to go. That's happy to have him.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, when I was watching his highlights and stuff, I noticed he could play on the outside, or if he got to line up in the mix of things, he can do that as well. But if he comes to Alabama, and it depends on what they want to do with him, because he's at a nice size and a nice weight at 260. That if they did want to play him as an interior lineman, he's at a nice size where he could put on the weight,
right,
and do it. But he's at a perfect size already to be outside linebacker, with edge rusher where he's at already. Right. But I will say he needs to probably develop some strength, get stronger, whatever,
Mm-hmm.
Get whatever. But I like him because he's athletic, man. I seen the dude catch a touchdown passes. He back right. Like my boy Raz and Fitness say, he back down them balls. He back down them balls. And right. He even got 3 interceptions last season. So right. I think a dude like that'll be good for us. And it's always nice to pick up an in-state recruit as well. It's always nice to pick up an in-state recruit, man.
Right. So yeah,
he got that first. He got them first 2-3 steps that are super quick, and that's very important for a lineman either side of the ball, and he's got it.
Yeah.
I saw him. I saw on one of his highlights. He got an interception. And man, he got some long strides, but he was really some long strides, brother. He was high stepping to the end zone.
Yes, sir, man.
Mm-hmm. So I'm pleased.
Yeah, very pleased. So I seen a comment that I wanted to respond to. It was from 6-0. Where did it go? I probably took it off. I know I took it off. But he was saying it's another running back commit. Anthony Turbo Rogers. I've been sitting to him, and he said he's catching his final balls on schools on June. Let's hope we get him to Alabama. And I've been seeing a lot on him. That dude pretty nice too. And I'm with you on that. So I'm hoping that we can pull another talented running back like him as well, because at Alabama you can never have too many running backs. We always stay loaded on running backs, and that's what I love Alabama, we keep going in. If we can get him, he'll add on to the addition.
Right, I agree.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we run them out there 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of them in a game. We're gonna have 5 running backs. You're right.
Yeah, man. Then, another thing I want to talk about. We ranked now. Basically, we have one of the toughest schedules in the nation. What I have pulled up, they had us ranked at number 18 toughest schedule. What y'all got to say about that, man?
Well, you know what Alabama fans always say. If you want to be the best, you got to beat the best, right? And that's what we say. That's what we tell other people all the time. So, hey, man, I'm all for it, man. Listen, I'm all for going in and because when everything's said, this is me. When everything's said and done, I don't want no excuses. I don't want to hear, and I'm not talking about from us. I'm talking about from them.
Yeah.
When Alabama go in and we go through a tough schedule and we do what we need to do, and we come out at the end of the season with the championship. I don't want any. Well, y'all didn't do this, or like we mess with Georgia about being paper champions and all this stuff. And we always say iron sharpen iron. So if we're going up against great opponents, that's only making us better. That's all it is. It's making us better each and every game. So I'm all for it, man. There's teams out there, like I always tell people, right now, and especially in the SEC West, Auburn has one of the hardest schedules ever. And because they're going up against Alabama, they go against Georgia, they're playing LSU, they're playing Texas A&M, they're playing all the tough teams, the teams that we consider tough in the SEC. And even though they don't come out on the winning end a lot of times, they're playing tough teams. So we should play tough teams and come out at the end too. I don't want to beat all the cupcakes or the Vandy's or the Missouris and then be smiling at the end of the year. When they say Alabama, I want everybody to know Alabama are the champion. No questions asked. That's how I feel about it. What about
you? Ever since we started this run we've been on, we beat more top 10 teams than the other team in the NCAA, so nobody can say anything to us about we ain't played nobody. We beat more top 5 teams, more top 4 teams than anybody else because the championships that we've won and proves that in fact, or else we wouldn't have been where we are as the standard of the NCAA college football. Now, Georgia's come on the last couple of years. They've done pretty good. They didn't win a championship, but let's wait till they've done it for about 15 years, and then we can talk about how well they've done over a period of time, not just over a period of one recruiting class.
Right. Okay.
Yeah, I agree. I agree with man Deuce just said, because one of the things I seen earlier on last week too, that they talk about, they taught us before having easy schedules, cupcake schedules in the past. But I wish I would have screenshot something, but they brought up the fact that we played a lot of tough schedules. And I'm talking about in this Nick Saban era, we played a lot of tough schedules. The record that we had versus the other record with the tough schedules, we was on top of it, that's how I feel. But with this year's tough schedule, I'm just saying it speaks numbers about the SEC periods that we can talk all we want to. Come on, SU was a tough. We can say this year we're gonna beat them. Every year we say all that. But honestly, it's a game that you really don't know. Auburn is a game you really don't know. Georgia, really, it's a lot of teams in this conference, East and West, that you really don't know. And you got to think about out of the last 9 championships, 6 of them came from the SEC. So that doesn't tell you about SEC, period. You know what I'm saying? Like, we talk a lot of crap about these teams, but hey, the SEC is not a cakewalk.
Right.
Unless you got a
I want to address a comment. Ricky Stanley in the chat he actually put 2 comments. The first one is he said that we Alabama, whatever, we got to take the standard back from Georgia. And then this last one is, yes, we are a champion from years back, but what have we done lately? Mr. Stanley, you sound like Alabama fan, so you know what we've done lately is Last year we went 11-2, and like I said last night on KB show, we had a down year. To be honest with you, we weren't that great of a team, but we still had a winning record. We have not had a winning record. The year before that, we went to the championship. We just lost to Georgia. We lost to a team that won back to back. So we're not like Vanderbilt. We're not in the conversations of Arkansas or Missouri. We're not in that conversation. Now, we have had some down years the last couple of years, but like I tell people all the time, there are plenty of people who pay to have the record that we have. So we listen, I'm not a delusional fan that think we're gonna win every year, point blank period. We're gonna beat everybody every year. If you ask me, we're gonna beat every game. The next week, I'm gonna tell you, yeah, we're gonna win because I'm Alabama now. I'm expecting us to win. I want to win. It's just that point, but realistically, we can't win everything all the time. And it's just 2 years, brother. But we've been in the running. Like I said, just a year ago, we was in the national championship, and we lost to Georgia.
Yeah.
So that's what we have done lately. Did we win the championship the last 2 years? No, we didn't. But we've been knocking on the door. We have not been just so far out of the conversation that we are after. So I just wanted to do that. And
yeah, we're right there. We don't we took a step back, guys. We had a bad season for our standards. 2 plays is a bad season, threw us off. But I was watching Josh Pate talk about it. Now he think the problem we had, this would be the quarterback maybe this year. But he said right now at the University of Alabama, down there on that campus of Tuscaloosa, there's 3 of the top all-time recruiting classes and 3 of the top 6 recruiting classes all-time down there right now in the country. Not just Alabama, but every college football team, we got 3 of the top 6 of all time. So the talent's down there. We just had the Powder Puff Pete and Bill O'Brien's play calling and what they were doing with what we had wasn't exactly meshing right, and it just barely missed. And by 2 plays, of course, you 2 plays any game, but 2 plays we could have been undefeated in the playoffs. We didn't, so we didn't. But I mean, that's amazing. 21, 22. I think it's 21, 22, and 23, or 20, 21, and 22. It's 3 of the last 6 recruits. The all-time greatest, period. Right. So we got the players. Nick ain't losing them. We're recruiting at a high level. We got everything. So now we got to go back to our quarterback with Jason Milroe or Simpson, and I think we're gonna be fine.
Right. And he came back with another one. He said our standards are more than winning records. We're about winning championship. Everybody wants to win a championship, but if you think we're gonna win a championship every year, man, I don't know what to tell you. I mean, I'm an Alabama fan, and I would love to win a championship every year. But come on, let's be honest. We're not going to win a championship every year. That's crazy. I don't know how else to say it. We can't win a championship every year. We're going to have up and down seasons. There's going to be years where other teams come in and they're the better team that year. That's just the way it is. I would love to win one every year. But let's say this. What if we win a championship every year forever? Then what? We wouldn't even watch football. It would be boring. I mean, if we know we're going to come in and win every year, it's just like, come on, man. We need competition. Yeah. We got to have competition.
Yeah.
We might well just go play high school teams every year and beat all them up and be, like, come on, man. It don't work that way, unfortunately. We're in the real world. So, what you got, Jim?
No, I agree on it. Like, every year we're gonna say we're gonna win the national championship, and as a Bama fan, we believe that. Like, reality, like you said, we're gonna have that competition. Somebody's gonna be a dark. We're just not. We're just not. What keeps you relevant like Alabama when you can constantly compete for an SEC championship, you can constantly compete for a national. That's what keeps you relevant. That's what keeps you relevant. But yeah, you can't win it every year, man. You can't win it every year, man.
No.
Hey, Ricky Staley,
Junior, you kind of break it up. I don't know if you can. Your end breaking up on me. I think he may have froze up. But go ahead, Icebox. What you about to say?
I don't think I think he's still having trouble. Yeah, well, Ricky Staley talk about it don't matter if we get the number one recruiting class every year if we don't develop them. Well, try getting 100 recruiting class in the country and developing what ain't there. I mean,
Right.
you can't develop every player every year, every time. That's what the great coach does, and that's what sets Nick Saban to go apart from other coaches. He coaches, and when he realizes they can't no longer do their job, he has to go out and find another coach that can be at the standard he wants them at, and you can't always do that. And he was trying to give Pete Golden every chance he could in the world to develop and to do better himself, and he just couldn't, so he had to cut bait, and it was time to go. But as far as developing, we're doing fine developing. Go look in NFL. There's more teams in NFL and Alabama right now than any other college out there, bud.
Right. And not only are we recruiting players every year, we're recruiting coaches. We got to remember that we're recruiting coaches as well. Coaches are leaving, and other teams are starting to feel that now. You got Georgia starting to see people leave. You know, Clemson finally starting to see people leave and go other places. It's just not. We're not going to keep. We can't keep all the players, and we can't keep all the coaches. They're going to get job offers, and they're going to go other places, and so you got to replace. You study finding pieces of the puzzle to plug in and try to keep the train going. But for what we have done over the last 15, 16 years or whatever, it's been amazing. Like Alabama Ty just said, we're every year, every season, we're in the talks of being in the playoffs. If we missed the playoffs once or twice since the playoffs been in existence. Come on, man. That's they're not robots. This is real life, real human beings. So sometimes you can get a number one class and you just have some bad apples on the bunch. You can get some DCs and OCs and they don't pan out, and that happens. But that's okay. We do what we do. We back up. Nick Saban backs up. Look at everything. Punt. We go back at it again, and that's what we're planning on doing this 2023 season. Like you said, you had to cut some bait. We got some new bait, and when we back out in the water fishing, baby, we fishing for another championship. So that's what
we're looking about. Yeah, we're looking for them big deep fish. We ain't playing in the kiddies pool. We're looking for the championships, and if of course injuries play a part in any season, any given time, and then next man up, everybody has to play, everybody has to be ready to go. But it's like I told my buddy of mine, at some point in time, depth matters. Next man up matters. You can't replace two All-Americans Michie and Jamos Williams. You can't replace two All-American first-round draft picks and bring in a freshman and expect him to be able to do the same thing at the same level of competition. Them two good, because it just don't work that way. They have to have time to develop. So as far as not getting done what we need to get done, we've done it. It's just at some point in time, the depth will matter. If you lose too many players, like when we lost to Georgia in the championship game, and we lost Michie and Jamos both.
Right.
And of course, then A.G. Hall was there, and he was a basket case up top. So, and he didn't. We all know what he'd done. He had every opportunity in the world to step up, be the man he wanted to be, catch the passes, be the big hero, and he in his own bed's what he done.
All right.
Yeah.
One last thing, I'm gonna turn it back over to you, Nick. Rick, I'm gonna address one last thing you said. You said we need to start doing what Kirby do. No, we don't. We Alabama. We had Nick Saban. Kirby doing what Nick Saban done. Okay. We ain't trying to do what Georgia do. We do what
Amen. There you go.
I'm starting to think you ain't even an Alabama fan, to be honest with you. I'm starting to think maybe you're a troll trying to troll us over here. But we're not trying to be Georgia. Okay. We're us. That's all we want to be. And in Saban we trust. That's simple. Okay. We're not trying to be. I ain't running after Kirby. I ain't running after Dabo, we ain't running after none of these other coaches, Coach O, Coach in LSU, or Sarkisian. We ain't trying to be them.
That's
like
right.
Everybody have a good run. Georgia having a great run right now, and that's good. But we ain't going to change to do what Georgia do.
Tell it, brother. That's right.
We are the standard. It's just that plain and simple, sir.
Yes, sir.
And I'm gonna let you go on that one. Go ahead, Nick.
But see what Ricker Stanley was saying at the end of it. He was doing like Georgia do by rotating the players. And
I understand.
And with that last little bit of comment though, with that, I do agree. We got to rotate players because imagine if we had rotation doing that whole had more players back up ready to play in the national championship. It might not turn out like that, Jai Hall, but for Jai Hall, he messed his stuff up because he did a lot of talking that season instead of just shutting up and putting in the work. He finally got the opportunity. He looked like a complete idiot. But I agree with the rotating part. We do need to rotate, especially back on the defensive side of the ball. We got to rotate D-line. We got to start rotating these guys again. I do agree with that part.
Listen, I'm all for the rotation. I do all that, but not do like Kirby. That ain't coming. You ain't gonna get me to say that. I'm sorry, but that ain't coming out of my mouth. That's blasphemous to me.
Hey, man, bro, y'all pardon me. I got a little bit of scratchy throat. I'm gonna have to put this in my mouth to try to settle it down a little bit, but I apologize. Mr. Whalen, I appreciate that compliment. I really do. I'm trying to watch y'all in chat. Thank you so much. Doing the best I can. These guys are wonderful, but both of these Roll Tide Rise Up and Nick are two of the top flight gentlemen you ever care to meet. And we don't put up with trolls in here. If we spot a troll like Mr. Roll Tide just did, it's time to kick them in the booty and talk to them. Let them know we know they're a troll.
I don't know if you're trolling now or whatever, but I mean, it just seemed like it. Like, with that follow Kirby or be like Kirby. No, I agree. Like Nick said, we agree with the rotating, and that was kind of something I was going to talk about. Or not really talk about, but we've all said rotate these guys so they'll be ready when it's time. If we need to step up, we step up. We got the guys to plug and play, and I agree. But following Kirby, no, I'm not saying that. I don't know. Not in this house, anyway. Anybody else say what they want in their house, but not in my house. So we'll go ahead.
So earlier I did a video, and it was one of my questions. This is why I said, because I was planning on doing a video on about which 5 veterans for Alabama that needs to step up tremendously this season. And my 5 was Malachi Moore, Chris Braswell, Dallas Turner, Tim Smith, and Justin Abu.
Mm-hmm.
What are y'all thoughts on that? Because to me, those 5 guys are going to be critical to this defense this year. And what I mean, they're going to be the veteran pieces that we're going to need to play consistent football, and help with the other guys with the depth and getting depth behind them. But those guys are going to be key for the Alabama defense because they are the veterans, like I said, and they know what's going on. So they're going to have to be the leaders. And, of course, we know I didn't put Kool-Aid on the list because I figure Kool-Aid is going to do his thing regardless. He's going to be the number 1 quarterback in the country this season.
I agree. I didn't put Malachi on there because I think Malachi's going to step up. I got a feeling that he's going to step up and do what he need to do. But the other guys, I agree with you 100%, man. I had another question on that. What happened to the Latham guys, JC and Jamarian? They just kind of.
You know what, man? I don't. I know they're there. I do know for a fact they're still there. I do know that he is still there, Jamarian Latham. But I don't know, man. I don't know what the deal is. I'm hoping that he's gonna be part of rotation this season. Don't know, but I haven't heard much from him.
Okay. And a guy that you didn't call that I'm calling that I think that needs to step up. Listen, I've been hoping for this. This is not the guy I was talking about, but I'm gonna get on KB coming right quick. I had so much hope for Kendrick Blackshaw, man. I watched them recruit that guy to Texas, man, and I'm like, this dude is like a grown man playing in high school. It really did. I'm like, I need to see this guy's. I need to see his birth certificate. I don't think this boy is 17, 18 years old. He in there looking like he in his late 20s, early 30s. And he was built different. But he just hasn't, for some odd reason, he hasn't made a splash at Alabama. I heard that she did have an injury, and at the spring game, they were calling his name. Now they were calling his name. I was looking because I'm looking for him, and they're calling
good special teams too.
Right,
like last season.
He put some hurting on people when he hit them, but I don't know what it is, why he is not in the talks of being a starter, because this is his third or fourth year. Something like that. I know at least his third year.
I think it's his third year. I think he's a junior.
Okay, so, and I don't know why there's not talks of him being, that guy in that position. We hear more talks of sophomores and even freshmen coming in and filling spots. If you can do it, you do it. I'm not mad at whoever go in there and takes the spot, but I don't know what happened with Kendrick, Blackshaw, however you pronounce the last name, but I had hopes. I had high hopes for that guy. I really did. But the guy I was going to bring up was Ja'Cory Brooks, man. He's an upperclassman, and we need him to step up. We need him to catch these balls. I need him not to make some crazy drops. I see it in him. We know it's there. He to make some crazy catches and some clutch catches, but sometimes he dropped the ball too much. And then he has to step up, man. This year, this is a money year for him, so he can prove himself to the NFL. Have some great film of himself. But I'm looking for Ja'Cory to step up 100%. Because that wide receiver room is a question mark. So that's the other guys in Ja'Cory Brooks for me.
Okay. I was talking about the defensive side of the ball, but I'm gonna refer that question to somebody sent the question too about the wide. I think it was Alabama talked about the wide receivers. Which one that would be a go-to
question? Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So I'm gonna refer that to answer to that. I think he can be that go-to guy, but because we all seen Ja'Cory Brooks have big time moments, step up, play big time football. Hey, Auburn game, there's no. He do big things. He comes, but he do have the tendency to have some key drops, like at times. And
right.
I want to give him that. I want to give him that role because he is proven. But like I said, at times he does have them drop ball moments. But let's go back to that defensive side of the question. You were talking about Blackshaw.
Mm-hmm.
We all talked about it before. How this dude is he was a grown man. I seen his third grade picture and he had a mustache and a pack of cigarettes in his little pocket. I seen it. But that dude, man, I think he's talented. But this is what I would tell kids that's going into college. You might be the top player coming out of that position that year, but guess what? The next season, they're trying to recruit their top player in that class to either fill your void when you leave or take over your spot while you're there, whatever. So, right. With that being said, we got talent at that linebacker position. And ever since Transman Marshall transferred from Georgia, I've been saying that don't sleep on that dude. Don't sleep on that dude. And everybody was saying Kendrick Blackshaw. And I'm really hoping that can change. I'm really hoping for this kid. Because I like him. But Saban go get these guys, he go get them for a reason, man. He go get them for a reason. Then let's talk about the spring game. You got Justin Jefferson. In the spring game, he looking good. He looking more promised to get more reps over Justin Jefferson at that linebacker position because he brings the part of the defense that is going to be needed in obvious pass situations, he's going to be out there on that field covering the running backs coming out of the backfield, covering somebody in the slot. He's going to be that person because the versatility of the guy. And that dude, he quick to get to the ball. He's quick to close. So that's what I'm going to say about Kendra Blatchard, that he still got a chance, and I still think he can, but it's some dogs in a position, and if you really want it, you're just going to have to scrap for it.
I'll tell you something else about it. I think now we're getting away from read and react with Powder Pete Puff or Powder Puff Pete and going back to Kevin, the man of steel, the steel defense, the way he runs it. That Justin Jefferson kid, they're going to be running wide open. They're going to be coming at you with their hair on fire and running and screaming like a bunch of wild men. They're going to be scaring people before they even get to the line of scrimmage. They're going to just take a knee and say, I give. But the secondary is going to be what keeps it all together. That Caleb Downs kid, when he comes, I think he's a Minka Fitzpatrick. We've all sung his praises. Of course, Malachi Moore's back there along with Kendrick Kool-Aid and Kenstry. And, of course, you got Terry and Arnold. And, you got this kid, that Desmond Ricks kid's coming in. And if he's anything as what he seemed like in high school, we're going to have the top covered. We ain't going to have to worry about getting deep. So now the front seven can play on the line better. Keon Keeley's coming in off that edge. He's another man among men, a man among boys. I mean, he's going to be hard to stop. And, I forgot the other kid's name. You said Braswell, of course, off the edge. And, of course, Dallas Turner. I think this is his year to get that first-round money. I really think he's going to develop. And my favorite player on that defense, is them big old boys. That big old guy in the middle, that incredible Hulk, old Mr. Jaheim Otis. I love that dude, man. He come in, he showed you his heart right off the bat by losing, nearly 100 pounds. He come in there looking like he's ready to eat the whole backfield. And it's going to take at least 2 men to block him, and you're going to free up Deontay Lawson wide open. You're going to free up Justin Jefferson wide open. And God forbid we bring a safety down, and we're going to clean clocks and hurt people's feelings. We don't have to score 60 points this year, guys. It ain't going to be like that. It's going to be like we did Notre Dame in the Orange Bowl when we beat them in the championship game with Eddie Lacy, just right up the middle. And by the fourth quarter, we broke them. Right. All their fans will be walking off doing this number. That's all they'll be able to do, guys. But it's just defense. I think we're going to be a defensive center this year more than we have in the last 4 or 5 years at least.
But go back to the veteran defense. KB said and them two was on my list. Chris Braswell and Tim Smith.
Tim Smith is on my list.
And Justin Boyd was on there too. Those guys are going to be critical. Now, Chris Braswell, I think he's gonna be. Like I say, he's not gonna be Will Anderson, but I think he's gonna be good. He's gonna be real good. He's gonna be more than just. He's not Will Anderson, but he's gonna be good. He's gonna be very great at the position to fill that void. But Chris Braswell, Smith and Justin aboard me. The two on the defensive line is gonna be critical. They're because Jaheim Otis gonna take up some blocks. So when he taking up some blocks, them double teams, how y'all gonna do? Justin aboard he was playing good football until he got injured, had that neck injury last season. He was playing good. Now Smith, since his freshman year, we've been seeing flashes of Tim Smith, but just on a consistent basis. Now this year, can he put it all together and be consistent with it? Will be the key for him. And I think this year, with Kevin Steele, I think Freddie Rogers is going to be able to be a better defensive line coach because, the things with the D-line do, the secondary do, linebackers do, it's all predicated after the scheme. And I think the scheme with Kevin Steele is going to be simple. He's going to be all about D-line. Go attack the backfield. Go attack the running back. Go attack the quarterback. Go do that. Don't help out the secondary and the linebacker so much, but it's going to be key for Tim Smith and Justin Boyd to step up on the D-line.
Right. Exactly.
I agree with 110%. I'll ask y'all a question, though. Now Kevin still is back, and I'm asking everybody out there in the chat, too. Everybody can get in on this, but with Kevin still back, is it going to be return to dominance on defense like we were when he was there? There's just almost like a flip and a switch and going right back to dominating these offense, just automatically go back to dominating, or you think it's going to take more than a year to get back to dominating that kind of defense again?
I mean, for me personally, we see the change already. You know what I'm saying? I think with Steele, it'll be a faster switch with the young guys because, you know, the older guys been with Powder Puff Pete, so Kevin Steele got to kind of get that out of their system. You know what I'm saying? Get that nonsense people teaching them out their system and get them back right. But I think I think this coming season is going to be a big improvement on defense. We've seen it, you know, we're hearing about it. You know, we saw the flashes of it and take for granted that was a spring game, but we've seen it. But I think it's going to gradually get better year and year after that. Like I said, I don't know. Kevin Steele may not be here next year. He may be one and done. I mean, he is up there in age or whatever. So, but I think he's come to lay the foundation for whoever is next. I don't know if that will be Mr. Jeremy Pruitt. I'm hoping it is. I'm hoping it is. And we won't, if it is Jeremy Pruitt, we won't miss a beat. We won't miss a beat. But he is laying the foundation down. This year, we're going to be 10 steps ahead of where we were last year. But I don't think we've reached our peak to where we could be this season. That's what I'll say. What about you, Nick?
Okay. I like that question, too, because I was thinking about that all day when you sent it today. I think we can. I think we are. Because of just a spring game, we seen a big difference in the spring game. And don't get me wrong, yes, I do know spring game, but last year the defense didn't look like this in the spring game. They didn't look like this. Listen, those dudes are confident on that side of the ball this year. They are confident in what's going on. They're not guessing. They're just getting to the ball. They're doing what they can do. Tavares Robinson, he got a big play in this too, because he coaching the safeties and the quarterbacks. All dudes are on the same page right now. They looking good. The D line, they looked good as well. Kevin Steele, I think we will get back there faster than what we think. And let's think about when Kevin Steele was the defensive coordinator the first time he was there. It was a lot of talented players, but over the years overall, I think that the athleticism and the talent of players have gotten better. I'm not talking about just Alabama, just athletes, period, all over the world from those times. So therefore, we said we will get there faster because the talent level, this football sports period, is a whole lot better from just that period of time. And I think Kevin Steele gonna do his thing. He gonna coach some dudes to be very successful. Like my main memory is Kevin Steele at Auburn. He had that Auburn defense going. He had that Auburn defense going that season, and that was at Auburn. I know he can get done in Alabama, man. I know he can get done in Alabama.
I tend to agree with you. And here's the thing I like about our defense, besides Kevin Steele first, he's back. But I think we're going to have All-Americans at all three levels. Defensive line, we're going to have it in the linebackers, and in the secondary, we're going to have All-Americans at all three levels. There's not going to be that one thing when they can say, well, we can do this to them and do that to them, because no, you can't. We're going to be up front, and like KB was pointing out, Jamil Burrow, all these guys we're going to have is going to be – it's going to be amazing. I really think we're going to get back pretty quick. That's the reason why I asked the question. Right. Yeah, they did, Kangaroo. I saw that. Yeah, we get him a roll tide. Tell him.
You already know KB, man. Come on, bro. You run a show. You know how it is. You said, Nick, you said something about the spring game, and I wanted to kind of say one thing. I was listening to another show, and they had a caller, and he was pointing out that he was kind of he was talking about Justin Haynes, and he was talking about the running game for Alabama. Speaking of, because we were talking about the quarterback situation, and we're not really sure, whatever. And we went over this 100 times, so I don't want to beat that horse. But he was talking about a running situation, and he said something to the fact that, you know, we always talk about how good Mr. Haynes was in the spring game, but he really, if you average it out, he only averaged 2.4 yards a carry. Now, I will defend Mr. Haynes for the fact that, one, it was a spring game. Okay, spring game. So they're not throwing everything out there. But two, just like Nick Saban said, that defense, did you see that defense?
That's what
They
I'm
weren't
saying,
really
man.
giving up much or nothing. So listen, it's Alabama. We say we got a quarterback issue. We're doing a lot of running. The defense already know what we're doing. So that defense was smothering everything, man. They were getting back to the back. How many times did the quarterbacks get sacked? And I know it was just a test, but I'm just saying, how many times did those guys get to the quarterback? So, you know, with that being said, to me, that's not a negative. That's not a negative. If he only rushed for 4 yards a carry, 2.5 yards a carry, whatever it may have been, that's a positive on the defense that we was just speaking about. And that was just a spring game. So that defense wasn't giving everything, you know, and offense wasn't giving everything. So we're going to be fine on the running end of things, man. Listen, I had one of my topics. I'm going to bring it up now. One of my thing was, do we think the summertime enrollees, not the spring enrollees who played in the spring game and who has time, you know, with the veterans on the team and they've been practicing or whatever. I'm talking about the summer enrollees, the guys who's just leaving high school now, coming in. And we got like 4 guys, 3 or 4 guys. Keon Keeley for one. We got Young Zay Pierre, and we got Richard Young.
Yeah,
we got Richard Young.
Yeah,
okay,
I've been waiting on him.
We have a stacked running back room, man. We have a solid running back room. So we're gonna be just fine. We're gonna be just fine. Trust me. I'm confident. I'm very confident we're gonna be just fine. But my question with you to the chat and to you, AT and Nick Jr., incoming enrollees, man. Keon Keeley, man, big recruit. Young Zay Pierre, big recruit, both 5 stars. And we got the running back Richard Young coming in. With these guys enrolling, coming in the summertime, missing that spring practice, missing the spring game, whatever. Do you think that they're going to push some of these other players for some playing time? Not saying starting, but I'm talking about playing time. Because those other guys are ahead of them as far as being in the system already. You know, they kind of know the playbook a little bit better and all that. So do you think with their talent, they can come in and just, you know, push some guys? What do you think, Nick?
I think so. I think some of them can. My main guy is Keon Keeley. I think he can. That dude is a man child. One of the top recruits in the country. I think he can put somebody on there for playing time. Yes, I think he can push on the defensive side, especially if we go back rotating heavy. He definitely can push for playing time.
Okay,
I agree with you. It's Keon Keeley. They talk about him. You know, he's gonna be hard to keep off the field. He's gonna get out there and get some playing time, and then he's gonna come off the corner, and we're gonna. We're covered at every position, guys. It's an embarrassment of riches. The only thing anybody can say about us is what they've been saying, quarterback. But as far as these guys coming in now, you're going to have some that's going to jump up, and we wasn't expecting to jump up. You know, like you said, Young Zay Pierre and all that. So, but they're going to be exceptional. But there's always that one player every year that comes out of nowhere that we don't expect, and I'm excited to see who that is and who that's going to be because he's going to develop, because there's going to be that one guy that wants it more than everybody else. Last year, Jaheim Mota showed he wanted it more than everybody else. Yeah. And he was that guy that made a difference as a true freshman. And I expect that to happen again, you know, an early enrollees like Caleb Downs will. But I'm really expecting somebody to pop up.
Okay. And speaking of, you said quarterback. I know, Nick, you had something you want to ask about the quarterback.
Yeah. So today, and chat, I want y'all answers too. if season starts tomorrow, what quarterback are you walking out there on the field? Buckner, Miro, or Ty Simpson? Which quarterback are you walking out there today if the season will start?
I'm gonna go first, and I'm gonna say if the season started tomorrow, I'm going with Miro. If the season started tomorrow, and the reason I'm going with Miro, he's been in the Alabama system longer than any other quarterback. Mm-hmm.
Amen. Preach it. Yes, sir.
He's been there longer than any other quarterback. Even though both Ties, Ty Buckner and Ty Simpson may be more of a pure passer, especially Buckner. I know he was under Reese at Notre Dame, but he's still coming into a new system. He's green as far as we're concerned in Alabama, and he haven't won the locker room. He don't know the guys, so I feel more comfortable with Miro, being that he's been there the longest and he knows the system a little bit better, and I think he may have just a little bit of hold and control on the locker room. And this is just my opinion. So, what do you think about the Alabama Tide?
I agree 110%, guys. Whenever you share the field together and your blood, sweat, and tears, and you're upset and you're ticked off and you're mad and your girlfriend don't love you no more and everything's going wrong, you look over and you see Mr. Miller over, he's right there with you, and he's the guys, I'm here, and that means more than anything else on the football field, because the camaraderie on the team chemistry, he's been there, he's done that, he knows his left tackle's got his heart broke, his girlfriend left him, or his right tackle, got a new girlfriend, or, he knows that guys they can, but a quarterback is the most that everybody looks hard can't be the leader. It's got to be your quarterback. He's got to win the room. He's got to win the team, just like Coker did down there when we got beat by Ole Miss, and he lost, but Coker won the room. And that's what Nick talks about all the time. He's got to win the room. And I want to tell you, I think that Milroe's been there, and he's got at least 3 or 4 steps ahead of both of the other two that could maybe catch him, just because he's been there and he's done that, and he won a game and he got hit and he's had blood, sweat, and tears with him. He's going to be hard to beat out unless they're going to have to take it from him, because he ain't going to give it to them. They're going to have to win it. It ain't going to be no giving, and Buckner's going to come in and do the best he can. But when you're as fast as Milroe is, and a bad play gets called, he can bail you out with his legs when you're not expecting it, and that will break another team's heart, because they're looking at 3rd and 15 and think they got you beaten. There he goes. Where's he at? He's down at the other end of the end zone holding the ball up, laughing at you. But I think Milroe, and you go ahead with your own question there, Mr. Nick, but I think Milroe will be the start of the year.
Yes, sir. And I'm going with Milroe as well. I'm going with Milroe as well, because you can talk all the crap you want to about him. Talk all the crap, but he got the game time experience. He has that game time experience. With the dude working out with guys in South Florida, that's showing another type of leadership right there, because you got a group of guys with you, that y'all putting that work together. You're building that camaraderie. You're building the relationship. You build up the chemistry right now, and like what you just said, AT, hey, that kills your heart when you can bail out when the play is broken and you can get away with your legs, and not only he gets away with his legs, the unbelievable speed he has with it. It's not just like a fast quarterback. It's like a fast wide receiver speed. You know what I'm saying? It's the difference between fast quarterback and a fast wide receiver. He had that fast wide receiver type speed. And I'm gonna bring up something that me and my guy, Tom Reed, he left my comments and said he was talking about the Georgia quarterback Dylan Lonergan. Y'all know I'm a fan. I mean a Georgia fan. Y'all know he's a Georgia fan. And he was like, he likes to do, he's a dude, but 5-star quarterbacks. I wish I know the exact number, but how much we on 5-star? How much dynamic how much your team dynamics change with the 5-star quarterback? And what he was basically saying, it makes a great point. And he gave his opinion. My thought was what he was saying is, think about it. With Bryce Young, we expected so much out of Bryce Young. We expected him to be the superhero. Now, the first year with Bryce Young, it was all good and dandy because we had super talented wide receivers. But when that go down, when you need to play complementary football, as if Georgia did the past 2 seasons, listen, we expected Bryce to do so much that we didn't lean on the running backs. We didn't lean on the wide receivers as much. We leaning on Bryce, and it couldn't get done like that. Versus when you have a quarterback like a Stetson Bennett, like a Greg McElroy, you tend to lean as a team to play team football. You tend to lean let's put the ball in the playmaker, saying let's do a little quicker passes to get the ball in the fast wide receiver hand. Let's use this ground and pound. Let's use the offensive line advantage. So that's what I think will happen this year with our quarterback situation. Whether it's Miro, Buckner, or Ty, we're going to lean more towards more team football than expecting the quarterback to be the superhero. And I think that's why Miro will win in the end, because I think the style of Tom Reed's offense will be in the advantage of Miro.
Right.
I don't know if I said a lot like when I was understanding me or whatever, but
listen, you kind of answered the top. It was a topic about the quarterback again. I'm not sure if it was yours or if it was AT's about the quarterback leash. How short of a leash would the quarterback be on? That was you, Tom? That was AT. And you kind of nailed the head. I don't think they're going to be on too short of a leash because they know what we're working with, right? And with complementary football, like Nick Jr. said, with complementary football, whether it's Buckner, whether it's Simpson, whether it's Miro, or whether it's one of the other guys, Lonergan, forgive me for forgetting that other guy's name.
I thought
the other freshman.
Holstein.
Yeah, Holstein. Eli
Holstein. Eli Holstein. Thank you.
Whether it's either one of those 5 guys, they're going to run the system with Reese being here. They're going to run the system to whoever the quarterback is strength. That's the key. That's the key. Bill O'Brien just put Bryce back there like, go for it. And and run around and make something happen. When Miro came in, Bill O'Brien did not build, he didn't change the offense to his strengths. He just played the same plays and Miro is not Bryce. So he can't make the throws and stuff that Bryce can make. So, and everybody coming in knowing like, okay, well, we know what this guy is probably going to run more, so they're going to kind of contain him more. So, but with Reese coming in and the situation we had the past 2 years, whoever the quarterback is, I don't think the leash is going to be too short. They're going to build around whatever that guy's strengths are, and we just said, we got 5 stud running backs in the back. We're gonna depend on that run game. We depended on that run game this year, so we're gonna pound that ball, man, and we're gonna go back the way it was, like everybody been saying when we had McElroy and McCarron and the other guys, and hey, man, we're gonna be fine. So I don't think it'll be a short leash. It'll be a leash long enough not to let them do nothing crazy, and throw the game away.
Yeah.
Not to do anything crazy and throw the game away, but at least comfortable enough for them to do what they need to do in their talents. And
I agree with it. I agree. I think Reese is going to come in and start using our tight ends again, and we're going to start getting tight ends back involved in the offense. And then instead of just wide receivers and running backs, we'll have another O.J. Howard breaking for like 200-something yards like he did against Clemson, breaking necks and breaking backs. Where the heck did he come from? There he goes. Nobody covered him. So I think that's one thing Reed's going to do. He's going to use tight ends because we hadn't used a tight end in I don't know how long. And that tight end we got, I love saying his name, Robbie Oops. I just like his name. It's one of them names just fun to say. But we need a guy that's a game breaker at tight end, and I think we had one, but Mr. Oops, he's an H-back. He's a blocking back with good hands. But before I forget the question I was wanting to ask, was on defense while ago. I sort of answered myself, I guess. But who's that one guy on defense that's going to be the bell cow for the defense, like the quarterback is for the offense? Who's that one player y'all think this year is going to be the one that makes all the difference? You're welcome.
I'm gonna let Nick Jr. go first.
Okay, I can answer for it already because this stuff I've been thinking about anyways. Yeah, you said some good questions and topics over today, AT. But I'm gonna say this: I think it's gonna be by committee this season. I honestly think it's not gonna be that one. I think it's gonna be by committee. And one of the questions that I asked before is, do we think we have a 1,000-yard rusher? No, I don't think we will have a 1,000-yard rusher because it's going to get done by a committee. One game it might be a Jace McCullough. One day it might be a Jam. One day it might be a Justice Hayes. The next game it might be Justice Hayes. But whoever got that hot hand is going to be the one to take off for that game. I just think it's going to be done collectively by a group. Because go back to what I was just saying about the quarterback. The type of quarterbacks we have, we're going to lean more on the team this year. We're going to lean more on the team to do it. So I believe it's going to be by a collective group. The running back as a whole can be that bell cow running back.
Okay. I agree with Nick as far as the defensive side goes. I mean, I think we're going to hear some names, and I think we're going to hear Downs, and I think we're going to hear Malachi Moore. But as a whole, it's going to be a collective team effort that's coming in and shutting down the other teams and doing what we need to do. Like Nick said about the offense, you might have a hot hand in Jamari Miller here. You might have Justice here. You might have Richard Young in this game. McClellan might have this game, and Roydell Williams might have another game where he's the leading receiver. I mean, the leading rusher. Same on the defense, man. You're gonna have one game where this guy got one or two interceptions, maybe Kool-Aid and maybe Terry Arnold, and and then this game, Otis and disrupted the backfield so much that it just made the other team just tuck their tails and leave. So I think it's going to be an all-around game. But I got one thing before we finish. You were talking about Robbie Oops. Have you seen a picture of Robbie Oops? Go on Alabama. Go on Alabama's roster. Man, he look like he should be on Super Troopers Reno 9.
Hey, nah.
Oh man.
Man, he got that 1980s police look going on, man.
Yes,
He got that buzz cut and that mustache, man.
Hey, look.
Aviator shades, bro. He look just like Chips.
And look, and with that picture he took, I feel like he ain't had no sleeves in that suit jacket. I don't think he had sleeves in the suit jacket.
He looked straight out the 80s, man. I promise you. I was like, man, this man looked like he was playing football back with doggone Coach G Stall or somebody was there.
Yeah, man. But I'm gonna talk about Robbie Oots some more. I like Robbie Oots as well as Stu, because like you said, this year I think we're gonna go back to using tight ends a lot. We're gonna use them more than heavy than we have at Alabama this year. Because one thing I noticed in the spring game, Tommy was attacking the middle of the field. Bill O'Brien wasn't attacking the middle of the field. He was trying to go vertical and everything. Yes. And when you attack the middle of the field, that's gonna open up that vertical game. Yes. It's opening up that vertical game.
Right.
But with Robert Oots, he can do so much, because with these tight ends, CJ Dupree is a pass catcher and a blocker as well. Robert Oots, we all know he's a blocking tight end, but guess what? He can also slip out and mess around and catch a pass and take it for 5 or 10 yards for you. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So
right.
And we didn't even talk about Elijah Brown, the athleticism that he has, that him and a Marvin Neblack. We're not even talking about those two athletic tight ends that if we come out, we know we're going to come out in 12 personnel a lot with 2 tight ends. But if we were to come out in 13 personnel, bring 3 tight there and mess around, have a Marvin Neblack or Elijah Brown line up wide, or Marvin Neblack line up wide with the 2 tight ends, man, that's going to mess up so many so many defenses. Tommy Reese is going to exploit a lot of defense. What we see in the spring game is not nothing compared to what we're going to see during the season. Not nothing compared to what I'm telling you. He put a couple of plays, like a half play sheet during the spring game. We're going to see the whole play during the season.
Right.
Right.
And I'm looking forward to that tight end play too, man, because we've been missing that
Oh, yes,
for the last
sir.
2 years, you know. And so I'm glad to have that back. So that's why I said we're gonna be fine, guys. We got some guys coming in who using their mind, who putting players together to complement everybody, the whole team, not just not just one particular group, not just the receivers, you know, not just we're complimenting the whole team. And you know what? One of you guys had a question about which receiver you think will be, you know, the go-to receiver this year.
Yeah, the go-to guy.
AT.
Yes, sir.
In a nutshell, I'm thinking I got two guys named that I think could be the go-to receivers. One I mentioned earlier, Mr. Ja'Cory Brooks. It's his time to step up. It's his time.
Yeah.
He's a veteran on the team. He's been here, and we've seen him, like he said, make some clutch plays, some great catches in critical moments. So we know he can do it. Right. He just gotta stop with the drop passes. You know, that's not good. And I'm talking uncontested drop passes.
Yeah.
And the other person I'm saying who could be the go-to guy is Malik Benson. Come in. I think he's going to be a go-to guy. I just really do. I know it was a spring game and it was the last drive. They went to him continuously, but I just think this guy has what it takes to get out there and get the separation. Like Nick was saying, once we start attacking the middle of the field and we got a good run game going, that leaves the vertical game wide open. The vertical game is wide open for us to exploit. And I think we're going to have the play calling to do that this year. I think the playbook will be used wisely. Should I say that?
I agree with you.
Who do you think, AT?
The wide receivers, I agree with. I think Ja'Cory Brooks would be the guy that they lean on a lot more. And I'm hoping and praying that it's Malik Benson, ain't that his name at JUCO?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I'm hoping he's got that top speed because of that Tyler Harrell kid. Why did he leave? I know he transfer portaled out. What was it before I go any further? That drove me crazy. He had all the speed and he never got on the field, so he just left. I mean, I'm hoping.
I don't know. I don't know, man. That's a great question. You know, I know last year they kept saying he was hurt. He was hurt.
He stayed hurt.
I don't know if he got hurt really badly in the beginning of spring and he didn't get 100%. I don't know, but he did transfer and I was hoping, wishing for some great things from that guy last year, but it just never materialized. So.
Yeah, but other than that, Malik Benson, I'm hoping that, he could take a top off of defense, back the safety up on the strong side or the weak side, whichever side you want to run him deep on, and pop a running back out of the backfield. If you got a guy that can get deep and get gone, Kangaroo Black, if you got a guy that can catch everything like that, you ain't got to worry about it. I'm hoping Malik Benson is the Kangaroo Black of the receiving corps.
I'm calling you Hands from now on, Kangaroo. You're no longer Kangaroo with me.
Yes, sir.
So, Nick, who you think that wide receiver?
So, I think Ja'Cory. I believe Ja'Cory will be. Like Brock said in the comments, and we said it earlier before you came on, Brock. Consistency is the thing we work with. We want to see from Ja'Cory Brooks, but I think he will be the guy. The reason why I want to say Jermaine Burton, but I can't say nothing good about Jermaine Burton. He just got to show me at this point. You know what I'm saying? But the reason why I don't have Malik Benson for that guy is because go back to when we had Mitchell Williams. We was the go-to guy. was Mechie that draw on the men and all. The hands guy. But what we did with Williams, Jameis Williams, as we didn't caught passes and completions, Williams down the field taking the top off. And that's going to be Malik Benson. Catching these dudes all going, catching them slipping, taking the top off, and boom. After we didn't ate up the middle so much, we done ran up the middle and the east and west and all that. Benson going to come over.
I've always liked it when you had a guy like that, like Malik Benson, take a top off of defense and open the seam for the tight end, because Dupree, if he get up there in that seam, man, I mean, the safety's going to be walked out, and there's going to be a 20-yard spot about 20 yards down the line. Mm-hmm. Dupree's going to be running wide open by himself because, Benson's done burned him so many times. So many times, yep.
And it's
hell no, Burton, I just can't. I hear you, Brock.
I can't, Brock. That's what I was just saying. I want to say Burton because he has plenty of SEC experience, but the dude ain't showing me nothing, man. He had it towards the end of the season. He was trending upward, but man, that crap I seen in the spring game, bro. That's at this point in your season, your career, you should not be dropping passes, bro.
Right.
You are a seasoned veteran now. You should not be dropping easy passes that you don't even have to break stride for. They dropping them in your hand and you're not catching them.
Right. My words to Burton is you either gonna show out or don't show up. Just if you're not showing out, don't show up. Just don't even dress out, man. I'm serious. That's how I feel about it.
And like we're saying, we seeing all these clips of I done seen pictures from Isaiah Bond putting that work in, man. I'm seeing all these dudes from Bama. Yep. And Jermaine Burton ain't putting no work in, but he might just not be a dude the flash or whatever. And that's cool if he ain't, but what I seen from Jermaine Burton, I seen this man, I don't know if he was in a rap video or a TikTok video, but he was not doing nothing football related when I seen him this offseason.
Right. I agree 110% with you. I really do. Before I forget, also, this is Wolford's second year now to be working with our offensive line, and Seth Bowen sort of solidified the center. I know Dalcourt has moved over some guard and
well, thank you for
another man among boys kind of ball player. And do you think he's going to start this year at right tackle or left tackle? He's going to be almost like Caleb Downs. He's going to be hard to keep off the field. I think he's going to be an exceptional ball player. What do y'all think about it, Caden Proctor?
I think he's going to make it down to the field.
Say again.
I think we're gonna see him on the field. Now, whether it's a permanent starting job or not, I don't know. But I think we're gonna see quite a bit of Proctor on that field, man. That's me. What you got, Nick?
Go with your question earlier. What's one of the true freshmen that we I know you said coming in, not early and rolling, but he is one of the freshmen that's gonna push for that play-in time.
Yeah.
And I keep defending my guy, Elijah Pritchard. He's a Columbus, Georgia guy. I'm a Phoenix City guy. I love to see my locals shine. And like I say, I still believe he can get it right because we got to remember, Elijah Pritchard, he's a red shirt freshman. Freshman and he was going against a veteran in that spring game that has that work. But if he don't get it together, Caden Proctor is going to be the freaking left tackle, bro.
Yeah, I agree. If he don't get it together, Proctor, man, that boy's solid, man.
That boy, man. He a man.
That's a man. That's a grown man. Yes. KB, I'm glad you got to your lawnmower, sir. It's working fine for you. I had a topic, guys, that I want to speak about before we get out of here because I see we like an hour and 14 minutes. And I know us Alabama fans, we don't want to talk about this topic. I don't want to talk about it. I don't even want to think about it. But life is life. And it's going to happen. It happens. It is what it is, y'all. Time moves on. We all get older and,
Don't do it.
Wipe them tears, brother. It's gonna be many tears.
You gonna make this old man cry. Go ahead.
Post era Saban football, y'all. Post era Saban. I mean, Saban was 71, be 72 this year. So he's getting up there in age. You know, I don't know how much longer he has to coach. You know, I want to say he's gonna coach forever. I really do. I don't want him to stop. But just from being a human being and not being selfish, you know, me thinking about myself like, okay, in a couple of years I'm gonna retire and, you know, go out in the sunset like this. We have to give him that same due respect, man. We got to give him the same. I know KB told me to shut up. Nobody want to talk about this. I know. But we had to give Saban his, you know, listen, he didn't came. If he retired today, he didn't left us in great hands. He didn't came in and did remarkable things at the University of Alabama. And he has left the program in great hands and took us to places that, man, we probably never seen, we couldn't imagine. So with that being said, once, you know, he rides in the sunset, man, him and Miss Terry, you know, let them people get on their boat and ease and you know, cruise out into the sunset, you know, him be a grandfather. I know he got, you know, granddaughter, I think, or grandson by his daughter. So he wants, you know, at some point he gonna want to, you know, bring it on down. So that day, whenever that happens, God have mercy. Whenever do happen, what do we see? Kangaroo Black, we finna cancel you. We about to cancel you, boy.
Oh hell, I didn't say that. KB, come on, you've been drinking. Put down the bottle, brother. Step away from the bottle.
when Saban's glory days all said and done, and he hang his hat up and drive off into the sunset. What do you guys see post Alabama? I know it's gonna be a culture shock. It's gonna be a panic. We all gonna be running around like chickens, man. Like, you know, somebody shot the bomb and is on the way to America, and we trying to figure out scatter and figure out what to do. But it's coming sometime. Hopefully more later than sooner. But post-era Saban, what do you guys think it looks like? And as far as the program to replace Saban, do you think we go old school again? Because Saban is still old school. So do we still find the old school in mind coach with that toughness and that type of attitude? Or do we try to go younger maybe and take the program in a new direction what do we do? Because Saban adapts to new things, even though he's old school and old, you know, he got that old school old mind. But everything that comes along, he tackles. NIL, he tackles the portal, he tackles. You know, whatever it is, he's on top of it. So you have to adapt. So what do you guys think post era Saban Alabama Crimson Tide football looks like? I'm gonna start with you.
In about 20 years, we can talk about it because I think that's sort of thing. I think he's gonna look for a Jeremy Pruitt kind of thing. I'm gonna tell you though, you don't want to be the guy that replaced the legend. You want to be the guy that replaced the guy, because it don't matter what the next guy does. It ain't gonna be good enough. So I mean. The first guy we get, we all know he's a go-between simply because of you don't replace a living legend. You better replace the next one, because if you don't, you can't live up to that. So I think it's according to if they listen to Nick Saban when he's walking out.
Oh, kind of froze up on us.
To take three of my, pick three, or he might like what Barry Bryant said, one to be happy and make all the rest of them up, if he does the other. But it ain't you're not going to win as many championships in a shorter time frame ever again anywhere in this country. it can't be done.
Mm.
But I think we're going to be good, like we always are. We're going to stay relevant. We're going to be good, and we're going to have a coach come in, and then he's going to win some championships. But mainly, it's going to be the AD after Nick Saban's gone, the athletic director, who he picks. If he picks the right guy or not, and sticks with him.
Right. Nick, what do you think?
When that happens after my son graduates from college, when it happens, I think the program gonna be set up. It's gonna be set up for whoever, like, cause think about it, you can still gonna have the recruiting classes there, and whoever the next coach is, I don't know how they will go about it. And just like AT said, I think it's going to depend a lot on the AD. The AD of these programs makes a difference. The ADs, but it'll be set up. But whoever the next coach is, they don't need to worry about what Coach Saban did. They just need to worry about being the best coach that you got hired for. Just worry about that. And with that being said, I see some names come up. I seen Glenn Schumann. Brock brought up Glenn Schumann. I don't know where he'll be at his point of career. Like, will he still continue to be trending upward at this point in his career? I seen Sarkisian's name. I don't know where he will be at his point. Is like, we seen a trend upwards, but is it going to be a fluke this season, or from here on out, is it going to be a fluke? I don't know what they would do, but I will say this: Alabama, baby, it's Alabama. That's going to be the hottest job on the market when that day comes.
Right.
And if you one of the top coaches, you're gonna probably want to come there.
Right.
You're gonna probably want to be there. So it's gonna be a hot market, and I don't think we're gonna end up hiring a freaking coach we never heard of to do the job. You know what I'm saying? I really think that would happen. It's gonna be somebody proven. It's gonna be somebody up and coming and potentially proven. But it's gonna be a hot job, and I don't know which way they'll go. I don't know who they will hire. I don't know, but I believe it's gonna be filled. Now, I'm not expecting the dude to come in and win 6 titles do like Coach Saban did, but hey, Sonny Dykes came in and not won one, but he got to the national championship his first year at TCU.
Right.
Nobody seen that crap coming.
Right.
So whoever it's gonna be.
So do you think they go for a hot name? Do you think they go out and get like an up and coming hot name, or do you think we get somebody from within? Like, okay, Saban, in his mind, he'll know when he's thinking about retiring, right? In his mind, he knows, like, all right, this year I'm gonna, or this many years I'm gonna call it quits. So do you think he go talk to the AD and be like, hey, whoever the AD is at that time, if we're still not the same guy we have now, but if he's like, hey, listen, we got a young OC out in wherever they meet, maybe. Why don't we try to get him here, and we groom him to be the next guy, or we just find somebody out there on our own, or they just find somebody. And like, I'm gonna be there making no decision, but you know what I'm saying? You think they probably try to bring somebody in and groom them, or Saban leaves and they wait? Because to me, I wouldn't wait, because I'm pretty sure he's gonna tell them. I know Saban; he's a great character, so I'm pretty sure he's gonna tell Alabama, hey, listen, after this point, I'm pulling back. And you don't wait to the last minute to try to find you. In my mind, I would want to get somebody in there and already have them acclimated, at least trying to get some of what he has going to keep it going. You still want the system, you still want the process. So William Bryan said he want an alumni. What do y'all think about alumni?
I like Saban. I like Saban.
Say it again.
I think he froze up on. I was saying I pick. He's earned the right to do tell whose replacement should be. But other than that, at that time when it comes and goes, I don't know. But you you got to listen to Saban. I mean, I like for Saban, if he'd win in 20 years from now when he does, go on to be an AD and stay there and hire his replacement.
And see, you know, I do hear that a lot, AT, but I think about this. As Saban at his age at the time, is he I don't think he would be trying to work nowhere at that point at his time in his career. I think he would be like, yeah, it's time for the grandkids time now. It's time for me to give that long start to Miss Terry every night. I think that's what he gonna be on.
I don't think it's work, guys. He goes to Walt Disney World and plays every day. I think this is not work for the truly great people like that are that kind of Bear Bryant, them kind of coaches, Newt Rockne, whatever. But it ain't work. It's what they love. It's what they are. It's what they do, and that's all they really want to do. And I mean, you know, it's like Saban said, as long as he feels like he's been addition to the team rather than a subtraction, he's going to stay. But I really think he'll just he'll have input, hire who he want, tell who he thinks should replace him. But other than that, there ain't no I don't know. Well, he's about 10 years, 5, 10, 15 years, how many years he wants to stay. I wouldn't know.
Oh man, Chris Williams, he LSU fan. He's Meyer may come back. He knows the southern landscape. But with that being said,
no, but hell no.
But with that being said,
I apologize.
No, that's cool. That's cool. With that being said, I think it's going to be somebody that has to have SEC ties, know how to recruit it in the SEC. It's going to have to be somebody on that caliber. And go back to what William Bryan said. Where did he say alumni?
Right.
The only alumni I can see out there that's in the coaching world right now, not Dabo, my guy at the Houston Texans.
Oh,
D'Amico Ryan.
Do you think D'Amico want to give up that for college?
And it all depends on where they at in their career at that moment. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah,
but like I said,
go ahead.
When it comes to Alabama job, no, it ain't NFL money, but it's Alabama job is NFL caliber.
Yeah, that's true.
It's got a lot of prestige to it, and I'll tell you, here's let me see if I can get that thought process. It jumped out of my head real quick. Usually, when a coach takes over a program, after he's been there, when he wins that first national championship at that particular program, you can look 5 years down the road after winning that first national championship. After 5 years, he either doesn't win another championship ever again, he does good, or he goes somewhere else. It's something about a 5-year span is about all most coaches do. If you go all the way back to Bear Bryant, it ain't been done. After 5 years, that coach has done moved on. And like you talk about Dabo, that's why I don't think Dabo will win another championship at Clemson. They're going to be good, but they're going to be like Mark Richt. They're never going to get over the hump. And that's what you got to avoid when you get another coach in there, is that guy that's good. Because Nick Saban said something, and I remembered it from the first time he said it. Good is the enemy of great. And that's hard to distinguish, guys. And I'll let y'all talk. Dabo ain't going to be my next coach, Waylon. I hope not. Please, don't beat him up.
Hey, I'm going to just say this. My man Waylon, Waylon been saying this for a long time.
He has.
I want Dabo, no. But Waylon also been telling me some stuff. I'm not going to say the stuff he's been telling me that I've been watching that happen right in front of my eyes. We all been watching this stuff right in front of my eyes, and he been telling me this stuff. So it's one of those things, like, I'm not big on Dabo right now, but it really possibly could be a goddamn on. It really possibly could be, because Waylon told me some stuff that I was like,
man, listen, 100%. Waylon told me some stuff as well, and it before your eyes it appeared. Waylon is a whisperer. He's a whisperer, man. I don't know what he knows or who he knows or what black book he reads with.
Lean in real close, Mr. Waylon, and please don't say that again. I don't want Dabo. I mean, I like Dabo guys, but there's just something about. I mean, you like people. You don't. There's just something about him is different. He's an Alabama man, William. 110%. I agree with you, brother. And I'm not trying to speak ill of him. There's something don't match. Don't match with me, and I don't know why. And I mean, I ain't no coach, but don't get me wrong. But Dabo ain't my cup of tea.
Maybe listen, because a lot of us don't really care for Dabo like this. But maybe, just maybe, what's off about Dabo is his yin and his yang is not in sync. What I'm saying is he's in the ACC and he's an SEC guy. So maybe, just maybe, if he's in the SEC, he'd be a totally different person. Now, I do know this: if he was considered to be one of the coaches and he interviewed for the job, I'm pretty sure Alabama gonna tell him, hey, listen, we'd love to have you. You're an alumni. Chris said Dabo come to Bama. He better get familiar with. That's what I'm about to say. You took the words out of my mouth, KB. If he comes to Alabama, they're gonna tell him you got to get with the times. So even though you might not like the portal and all that type of stuff, but that's a part of the game today, and we got to use the tools. So whatever tools that they're out there, listen. I'm gonna say this: you can be the best mechanic. We're gonna say auto mechanic. You can have all the knowledge in the world. You can tell anybody. If somebody come to you, I remember old Amco. I think it was an Amco commercial, and they were like, they come in. Hey, my car making a clack 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 sound. Oh, that's your carburetor. That's your
yeah.
You don't know. You ain't even looked at the car. The car outside the parking lot. So how do you know what? Those are lower control arms. You could be the best mechanic there is in knowledge.
Yeah.
But if you don't have the tools, you can't fix the car.
That's right.
You can't fix the vehicle if you don't have the tools. So Dabo is going to have to use the tools to fix the vehicle, and I think Alabama is going to tell him that, if we really would love to have you here, you're an alumni here, you won a championship here as a player. You're from the state. You are Alabama. But we're going to need you to, whatever that's legal, not no illegal stuff, what's legal. They got the transfer portal, they have this, man, we got to use it. Because it's Alabama, and we're about, as the guy earlier said, that we're about winning championships. You have a winning season, that's fine, but you know what we're about. So he's going to have to, if he comes, he's going to have to use whatever tools available. And I think Alabama's going to make that loud and clear to this young man. So.
Well, one of the things that I think what's sticking in my head is Dabo. I don't know why it is, but he reminds me of Jimbo. I don't know what there's just something about it reminds me of Jimbo, and then with Jimbo is never going to win a championship at A&M. I mean, he just ain't. You can write it down however you want to. Somebody get it out. I mean, he's getting all his defensive linemen and all this, but there's just something about him. And that's what Saban's. And that's what makes Saban better. Saban can adapt, change, and overcome. Where all he can do is say, "We're going to do it my way, my way, my way, my way, my way." And then he's getting 9-3, which is a good team, but that's going to get him fired. When that payoff, instead of being $200 million payoff, when it gets down around $40 million, they're going to say bye. But Dabo ain't that hard headed, but he ain't far from it. And if you cannot change and adapt like Saban has, you ain't gonna be an all time great.
Well, Jimbo just on the whole.
Look at this comment on the screen. And I'm not saying it, but I like the idea of where he's thinking it though. I just like the thought. The thought of it, you know what I'm saying? Like, right. I see what he's saying. I see what I'm at.
Yeah, the only thing about a pro coach is he does he want to be in college working 365 or be in the pros and work 180?
That's facts.
And that's my thing about pros coming
That's
back. Like, man, you don't
fact.
have to do no recruiting. You ain't got to do all this type of stuff, man. This is like we're saying this off season. It's off season for us. Them
Yeah.
coaches
Yeah,
still
and
working.
listen, my cousin is a running back coach at Kansas. He's the running back coach there. I think he gets like a little small time in July. I think he get like a little small period in July. Is back at it because he right now he's on and off the road going to do recruiting visits and stuff.
Right. To be honest with you, I probably like regular season more than I do off season because my regular season I'm doing my job.
Yeah.
Off season I'm in the plains. I'm kissing babies and shaking hands and like I'm a politician because you trying to you got to get in these houses and get these kids, man. So yeah, there's no off season in college football for these coaches. So I don't know if I want to deal with it. And then you got to deal with kids and parents. When they come in the NFL, they grown men like, listen, man, this is what it is. You like it, you love it. We'll trade you on to the next team. And
I $20 brought up a good point. That's why they lost money. That recruiting 24/7 recruiting, man.
Yeah.
I look like, and I know I play with Georgia fans like this all the time, but I look for Kirby to maybe stay 5 more years and somewhere an NFL team, if he keeps doing good, an NFL team gonna come get him, and they're gonna get twice the money in half the season, and he got to have half the headaches. And he might not stay up there, but he's going to try it out. All of them, Nick Saban tried it. Even Bear Bryant was going to go to Miami at one time. As a matter of fact, I think Roll Tide, you might remember this. I think he actually was supposed to be Miami's coach for 3 days before he come back to Bama.
Yeah.
I think at some point Bear Bryant went for 3 days up there. And I mean, I might be wrong, if I am, tell me.
I heard that story. Yeah.
Kirby's going to go. And you can just get ready for it. When they're that good, they're going to go. They're going to try the NFL, and they might not like it, but he's gone.
Mm-hmm. What you got, Nick?
And what's going to be? He's going to fail in the NFL, and guess what happened? Sweet home Alabama.
I'm coming home to you.
Kurt back in the promise.
I'm gonna be dancing in the background like, hey, I'm back there dancing like doggone Forrest Gump.
You are a bit ashamed of yourself, Nick, saying he's gonna come to Alabama.
We have to mess with Georgia fans in the chat, But
I'd rather have a Pruitt, though. If we're going to talk rathers and drathers, I think Pruitt might be the better fit, and he might not, but I think I like his idea better than I do Dabo, because Dabo says when you commit to me, you shut it down, you don't take no more recruits. What are you scared of? If a kid commits to you and wants to stay with you, and then you tell me he can't take a recruiting visit, that's I guess that's one of the things I don't like about him.
Right.
Yeah, and that is bogus. Cause I'm gonna let my son know now. Like, listen, if Clemson offer you, I don't care if you want to go to Clemson, you better not commit to him. Cause he told me he want to go to Las Vegas, and I told him the only way you gonna get to Las Vegas right now if you show interest in the UNLV. That's the only way you gonna go to Las Vegas. Tell them that you want to go to UNLV, and they're gonna fly you out there for free. But do not commit to Clemson, because he's gonna make you shut it down.
Here's my thing is they haven't signed a true letter of intent yet.
So how can you do that?
It ain't legal. You can't legally tell me I can't see but I haven't signed a contract yet.
Yeah.
Unless he got these kids on some kind of contract saying that you're not gonna, I don't know what you're doing behind closed door, but I don't think legally you can tell them because they haven't signed a letter of intent. So you can't tell these guys, hey man, you can't go see another school, you can't go on another visit. You're crazy. You're crazy.
You know what? I never understood that neither. Like, how can you tell somebody that ain't even signed? Like, he ain't even committed. Like, he could verbally commit. Like, he ain't signed on the dollar. How can you shut his recruitment down like that?
I agree.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
That's the same thing. He learned that from somebody else. I don't know, Big 10 or Big 12. One conference as a whole had the agreement that if this kid commits to me, you don't recruit him no more, and the kid don't take visitants no more. And that's why I don't know which conference done that, but he took that from them. Dabo, I mean.
Right. Hey, Howard said he'd rather have Kirby or Kiffin. Not Kiffin, man. Kiffin, listen, I would love to have Kiffin as far as, his brain as far as offense. But Kiffin, he has no constraints. You can't control him.
I'm gonna tell you about Kiffin. What I feel about Kiffin. He's a decent coach, but I feel like he over the past couple of years he has become very overrated.
Right.
He has become but Kiffin to me is very overrated at this point.
He's a great OC. That's why I think Kiffin is. Yeah. He's a great OC. But the stuff he does, man, he puts his team in jeopedy. We see it game after game after game after game, man. This guy sits here and we was talking about the other night. It's fourth down and 18, and you're on your end of the field and you're going for it. Why? Punt the ball.
Come on, man.
Play, and he'll go for it, and then the other team get the ball and they got 20 yards to a touchdown. I mean, you give them a field goal at least. So stop it, bro. No, we can't have Kiffin.
Yeah,
and you can't keep Kiffin away from the cheerleaders. His wife never followed him down here. I'm sorry.
I'm on the screen, right?
Listen, the man I know, the board of trustees told me first name was Kirby and Dabo was the second. Hey, listen, like I said, like me and Nick said, I didn't personally had Waylon, the Godfather, tell me some stuff, and it just the way he said it, it happened.
It played out. Played out.
I don't doubt this guy, man. I'm telling you, this man that says some stuff, and I'm like, he didn't lie to me. I'm gonna say that. So,
my man TriStar said I hit this head because it would be Glenn Schumann.
If that guy says Kirby, I ain't got no problem with Kirby. Kirby's a real good coach. I'd be glad to have Kirby. I mean, Waylon, if you're right, you're right. But I just Dabo, I'd know. But Waylon, you're probably right.
I don't see Kirby leaving Georgia for another team other than the NFL. I don't see him leaving Georgia.
I told you how it's gonna happen. He's gonna go to the NFL, and the NFL ain't gonna be what he think it is. And sweet home Alabama. Hey, my little Brian said Kiffin is a better popcorn vendor than. Oh, man.
And he catching me golf ball too. I remember Tennessee throw them golf balls at him. He caught that ball. He like, gotcha. Listen, guys,
I tell you something else. Sarkisian don't win big out there. He's gone. So I don't know if we'd want him as a possible, in there somewhere along the line. But I don't think anybody can win at Texas the way Texas wants to win at Texas, and I mean, you can forget it.
The big hats at Texas makes it hard for them. The money at Texas makes it very hard. Those guys, with that oil money, makes it hard. Almost kind of like Auburn boosters, kind of make it hard for their head coaches as well. So, but fellas, we've been going for an hour and 43 minutes, man. Woo! Yeah, man, it's been fun though. It don't seem like it's been that long, man. We've been talking. It's 9:43, brother.
Oh, man. That means 8:43 here in Alabama.
Well, 8:43, yeah, it's 9:43 here in the Eastern time zone where I am.
I might have messed up, but I was trying to get something tonight.
Well, it's over, brother. Try tomorrow night. Everybody, it's been fun, man. We appreciate everybody in the chat, even your dog fans. Go dog. I hear you. I see you. Man,
no way. Whoa. Don't even say that. And you know what KB says about Georgia?
Oh, yes, sir.
What's he say, Nick? What's he say about Georgia, Nick?
F Georgia. With everybody in the chat, I know a couple of people had to leave. You know, they left. But for everybody who's tuned in tonight, man, we appreciate you guys for, you know, tuning in and listening to us and rocking with us this long. It's been a good night. Alabama Time, man, once again. Appreciate you for coming on, man. You're a godsend to us on this show tonight and on the CTS with us in the Horsemen. So we appreciate your input, brother. Glad to have you on. Anytime, you're always welcome. You know, like I said, you are officially one of the Horsemen now. So, you know,
thank you. I appreciate that.
It is what it is on that one. Nick
I
Jr.,
appreciate it, guys.
good show tonight, man. And we're gonna end it to the fans with a big roll tide, y'all.
Roll tide, guys. Y'all have a good night.
Good night.
You too.
Cut it off.